Can you hear me? So today, in this session, I'll discuss one concept like what is Android. Okay, because it's one of the most popular term from the last couple of years, right? What is Android? One of the most popular term from the last couple of years. What is Android? But very few people are aware of this. What exactly Android is, and I will get the answer from the majority of the people. Like the people says it's a mobile operating system. The people says what? It's a mobile operating system. But first, in this session, I'll try to give a clarity on what exactly Android is. Okay. So my definition of Android is. So my definition of Android platform is. Android is a mobile platform. You can hear me, right? Send me the response if you are able to hear in the chat box.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So my definition of Android is a mobile platform. Android is what? Android is a mobile platform. This mobile platform consists of three things. The three things are nothing but one is operating system. What is abstraction or mediator between these two things is what? The operating system is a mediator between these two components. Let's take for example, what is the need of operating system? Let's take you are using Windows, Mac, Linux, different kind of operating systems, right? What is the need of installing the operating system? What is the purpose of installing the operating system? The purpose of installing the operating system is nothing but uh, let's take best example. You want to store some data you want to store and you want to retrieve some data you want to retrieve in your computer. Let's take you want to store some data in your computer you want to store and you want to retrieve some data you want to retrieve from the computer you want to retrieve some data. So for doing this one, there is a hardware component For doing this, there is a hardware component called the hard disk. Hard disk is a component. So you can store the data into the hard disk and you can read the data from the hard disk. You can store and read the data. But are you communicating with the hard disk directly? Hard disk store this data, and from are you communicating with the hard disk? Are you communicating directly for storing and retrieving the data? No, right? We are not communicating with hard disk component. We are not communicating directly. With whom we are communicating? We are communicating with the operating system. We are communicating. So operating system is going to communicate with the hard disk component for storing and retrieving the data. So I mean, one of the functionality why we have to install this operating system is, one of the functionality of operating system is nothing but memory management is another functionality of operating system. One of the functionality of operating system is nothing but what? Memory management is one of the functionality of operating system. Memory management is another functionality of operating system. This is another functionality of what? Operating system. Like this, there are some few other functionalities out there. For example, at a time, we can do the multiple process. We can do perform at a time. We can perform the multiple operations. We can perform at a time. Let's take best example. In my system right now, I'm using this GoToMeeting. I'm using for taking this class, taking a session. As well as I open the Paint application, open, and I can do something in the Paint. As well as I can open the browser. I can open and I can I can explore the internet. I can explore through this browser. I can explore and I can open this iTunes. I can open. I can play some audio files, video files, and all. So at a time, we can perform multiple operations. We can perform at a time. At a time, we can perform what? Multiple operations we can perform at a time by using the operating system. I mean, one of the functionality of operating system is nothing but, 1 second. Hello. Yeah, sorry. So operating system, another functionality of operating system is nothing but resource management. Resource management is another functionality of operating system. Resource management of process management. Okay. So another functionality of operating system is nothing but what? Resource management is another functionality of operating system. One functionality is nothing but memory management is one functionality of operating system. Resource management is another functionality of operating system. Resource management. And another functionality of operating system is nothing but driver management is another functionality of operating system. You know, best example, by default with the operating system itself, we'll get some drivers you'll get. Let's see, keyboard is an electronic device, right? And printer is also an electronic device. You know, you can connect your keyboard, you can connect the keyboard to your computer and directly you can start working with the keyboard. You can type something and you can do directly, you can start working with the keyboard. But the same thing you cannot do with the printer. The same thing you cannot do with what? Printer, you cannot do the same thing. After connecting the printer to your computer, we have to install the drivers you have to install for the printer. Then only you can start working with the printer. And what I want to tell you is, by default with the operating system itself, you'll get some drivers you'll get by default with the OS itself. You'll get what? The drivers you'll get by default. So one of the functionality of operating system is nothing but driver management is another functionality of operating system. Memory management, resource management, driver management. Okay. And next, one more functionality of operating system is nothing but power management. Power management is another functionality of operating system. Power management is another functionality of operating system. Okay. So these are some of the functionalities of operating system. These are what? These are some of the functionalities of operating system. Meaning, for doing all these things, Okay, we need an operating system. If you take an Android phone, Android device is also one of the electronic device which contains the software component and the hardware component. So definitely we require all these operations in the Android device also. I mean, we require an operating system in the Android devices. The operating system in Android devices is nothing but Linux is the operating system in Android devices. What is operating system in Android devices? Linux is the operating system in Android devices. But here, we don't require the entire Linux. We don't require the entire Linux operating system because Linux is designed for the computer, not for the mobile phone. Okay, so you don't require the entire Linux. So there is a term called kernel in the operating system. In OS terminology, there is a term called kernel. A kernel means nothing but a part of operating system. A part of operating system is called as what? Kernel. Okay. So here we don't require the entire Linux operating system. So we are inheriting few properties we are inheriting from the Linux. That's why I used a term here called Linux kernel. I used a term called what? Linux kernel. Okay, a part of operating system, a part of Linux operating system. So internally, what is operating system in Android platform? Linux is the operating system in Android platform. That's why in few places I found this answer. Android is a Linux based operating system. And it is what? Android is a Linux based operating system. That is also not the exact answer. Okay. Okay, understand, right? So internally the operating system in Android platform is what? Linux is the operating system in Android devices. Let's talk about this software part. I mean, if you want to build an Android applications, let's talk about this software part. Android applications. Android applications. For building an application or a software, we require programming languages required, right? So what are the programming languages are available? So these are the programming languages are available: C, C++, C++, Java, and .NET. So these are the programming languages are available. So by using which programming language? We will develop the Android applications we develop. C, C++, Java, or .NET. So which programming language you have to use for developing applications? Let's see here. We'll check which programming language is preferred for developing the Android applications. Basically, if you are writing the code using C and C++, Android is providing some supporting tools and libraries as NDK. NDK is termed as Native Development Kit. If you are writing a code using C and C++, Android is providing some supporting tools and libraries as NDK. NDK is termed as Native Development Kit. And if you are writing the code using Java, Android is providing some supporting tools and libraries as SDK. SDK is termed as Software Development Kit. Native Development Kit and SDK is termed as what? Software Development Kit. And there is no support for .NET because there is no support for .NET for developing the applications. So Android is giving the support only for either C or C++ or Java. Let's check out of these two things, which one is the best? Out of these two things, C, C++ and Java, which one is best for writing the code? Okay, just give me a minute, I'll connect the charger. Yeah, sorry. So Android is providing the support only for these two programming languages, C, C++, and Java. So if you're writing the code using C and C++, require some tools and libraries, and it is providing as NDK and SDK. So personally, if you take my case, I'm very comfortable to write the code in Java than the C and C++ because we don't have a concept like pointers, templates, and we are having ready-made API support in case of Java. And Java is object-oriented programming, and because of all these features, majority of the people in the industry prefer to write the code by using Java than the C and C++. That's why initial versions of Android is given the support for both C and C++ and Java, but now the latest versions of Android is providing the support only for Java. It is providing the support. It's not providing the support for C and C++. Okay. So now the one and only option for developing the Android applications is what? By using the one and only option we are having for developing the Android applications. What is that one? Java. Okay. Let's see next. If you are writing the code by using Java programming language, okay, Java is the preferred for developing the Android applications. Right. If you are writing the code using Java programming language, then definitely you have to import some Java libraries. Let's say, for example, if you are using some Java classes which is performing the IO operations, then we have to use this IO package we have to use. Right or not? So if you are writing the code using Java programming language, we have to import what? The Java libraries we have to import. Like java.io package, java.net package, java.etil, like this we have to import the Java libraries we have to import. We are writing the code using Java. Next, everything is not possible with Java programming language. I'll repeat again. Everything is not possible with Java programming language. Let's take the very best example. The people says in the market, Java is the most popular and most powerful. These kind of terms, basically the people will use in the market. Java is the most popular technology. Java is the most powerful technology. These kind of terminology I heard in the market. The people says these kind of terminology. But if it is that much popular, if it is Java is that much popular, why the operating system is developed by using the C and C++? Can I know? The operating system is developed by using C and C++, not by using Java. The reason is nothing but by using Java programming language, we cannot communicate with the hardware components. We cannot communicate. That's why still there is a demand in the market for people who knows C and C or C++, people who are experts in C and C++. Interacting with the hardware components is not possible with Java programming language directly. Understand, right? So if you want to communicate with the hardware components, definitely we have to write the code in C and C++. Okay, we call as the C and C++ code we call as native libraries. The C and C++ code is what? The native libraries. Meaning everything is not possible with the Java programming language. Even though if you write the code using Java, sometimes your Java code is going to take a support of other programming language libraries. Sometimes the Java code will take a support of what? Other programming languages support. We call that other programming languages we call as native libraries. Native libraries which are written in C and C++. Native libraries which are written in C and C++. Even though if you are writing the code by using Java programming language, sometimes your Java code will take a support of what? C and C++ code for communicating with the hardware components. You have a requirement of interacting with the hardware components. You have a requirement of interacting with what? Interacting with the hardware components. Even though if you are writing the code by using Java programming language, if you are writing the code for communicating with the hardware components, directly Java code cannot communicate with the hardware components directly. Java code will communicate with C and C++ code for communicating with what? With the hardware components. Okay. Even if you are writing the code using Java, internally your Java code will take support of C and C++ code for interacting with the hardware components. Okay. And the next important component is nothing but, in this architecture, the next important component is nothing but application framework. The next important component is what? Application framework. What this application framework is providing is application framework. What this application framework is doing is, application framework provides infrastructures for application developer. I'm repeating again. Application framework provides infrastructures. Application framework provides infrastructures for the application developer with the help of ready-made libraries. Application framework provides infrastructures for the application developer with the help of ready-made libraries. It provides infrastructures. It provides infrastructures what? Provides infrastructures for the application for the developer with the help of ready-made libraries. Provides infrastructures to the developer It provides infrastructures. It provides infrastructure to the application developer with the help of ready-made libraries. Everything is ready-made library here. Like if you want to work with notifications, there is a class called notification manager. If you want to work with sensors, there is a class called sensor manager, notification manager, sensor manager, Wi-Fi manager, Bluetooth manager. Like everything is ready-made libraries. Everything is ready-made libraries. You need to write the huge amount of logic for doing the small operations. Okay, already ready-made libraries are there. Just as a developer, you have to know how to use those ready-made libraries in your project. As a developer, just you have to know how to use those ready-made libraries in your project. Because of this application framework, basically developing the Android applications made very easier, very easy to build applications because you need to write the low-level logic or the native code is not required to write. Just you have to know how to use the third-party libraries. I mean, this Android is providing some libraries, right? Just you have to know how to use those libraries in your code. That's it. Okay. So because of this application framework, the lot of developers' risk is reduced, and easily you can build applications you can build. The next important component in this one is nothing but the DVM. The next important component in this architecture is nothing but what? DVM. So DVM is termed as Dalvik Virtual Machine. DVM is termed as what? Dalvik Virtual Machine. The next component in this architecture is nothing but DVM. So DVM is termed as what? DVM is termed as Dalvik Virtual Machine. DVM is termed as what? Dalvik Virtual Machine. I hope you guys are aware of this JVM, right? DVM is termed as what? Dalvik Virtual Machine. So basically, JVM will take Java bytecode as input. What JVM will do? JVM will take what? Java Basically, we'll write the .java file, we'll write, and we'll write the code by using Java, we'll write the code. We'll write the code by using Java programming language, we'll write the code. Okay. After writing the code by using Java programming language, we'll submit the Java code, we'll submit to whom we'll submit the Java code? We will submit the Java code, we'll submit to JavaC, correct or not? Another is nothing but Java compiler, it's nothing but Java compiler is a part of JDK. The Java compiler is a part of what? JDK. After writing the .java file, we'll submit the .java file, we'll submit to JDK, we'll submit the .java file. We'll submit the Java file to whom? JDK will submit. What JDK will do? JDK is going to compile your Java code. It's going to check whether you follow the rules of Java or not. It's going to compile your Java code and it is going to produce dot class file. Produce what? Dot class file it will produce. This JDK will produce what? Dot class file. The another name for this dot class file is nothing but Java bytecode. The another name for this dot class file is nothing but what? Java bytecode. The another name for this Java bytecode is its dot class file is what? Java bytecode. So who will take this Java bytecode as input? JVM. We'll submit this Java bytecode. We'll submit to JVM. We'll submit the Java bytecode. We'll submit the Java bytecode. We'll submit what? JVM will submit the Java bytecode. So what the JVM will do is, so JVM is going to convert this Java bytecode. JVM will convert into the machine understandable format to convert, meaning it's going to convert into the machine understandable format like zeros and ones. Correct or not? This is what the JVM is doing. The role of JVM is nothing but convert this Java bytecode into the machine understandable format. Convert the Java bytecode into machine understandable format. That's what JVM functionality is. Now here, instead of JVM, we're using a component called DVM here. So DVM is termed as Dalvik Virtual Machine. So why we require this DVM? Why not the JVM? Why can't we use JVM here? See, JVM is designed for the computer, not for the mobile phone. It requires a lot of power and battery resources, power resources, a lot of memory resources are required to run the program in case of JVM. That's why they customized the JVM. To work on low power, low memory and the low RAM. That customized JVM is nothing but DVM. I'm not telling like it's completely a new one. It's a customized JVM, meaning they modified the JVM to work on the low power, low memory and the low RAM. The customized JVM is nothing but what? DVM. So even DVM also takes Java bytecode only as input. Same like how the JVM is taking the Java, how the JVM is taking the Java bytecode as input, I mean the dot class file, even the DVM also will take the same thing. Even the DVM also takes Java bytecode only as input. DVM also takes what? Java bytecode only as input. DVM also takes Java bytecode only as input, but DVM directly will not execute that, will not run that, will not convert into machine code. DVM also takes Java bytecode only as input, but first DVM is going to convert into its own understandable format. This DVM is going to convert into its own understandable format called .dex file. This DVM will be converted into its own understandable format called .dex. DVM also takes Java bytecode only as input. Dot class file, I mean Java bytecode only as input. And first this DVM is going to convert this Java bytecode into its own understandable format called .dex. DVM also takes Java bytecode only as input and it's going to convert. First it's going to convert into its own understandable format. This DVM is going to convert into its own understandable format called .dex. We call as Dalvik executable code. And next it will execute the .dex file, it will execute into machine understandable format. Basically JVM is going to convert into directly it's going to convert into machine understandable format. But here in case of DVM, it's going to convert into its own understandable format called .dex. First it is going to convert into .dex, then it will execute the .dex file and it will convert into the machine understandable format it will convert. Okay, it's a customized JVM. In short, to say about the DVM component, it's a customized JVM to work on the low power, low memory and the low RAM. That customized JVM is nothing but what? DVM. So This is the architecture of Android. Whatever we drawn here, application, Android applications, operating system. So whatever we drawn here, it's nothing but architecture of Android. This whole diagram is what? It's a architecture of Android. If you recall the definition, if you recall what we specified, okay, fine. This is what the architecture of Android, what we discussed, right? One second. This is what the architecture of Android what we discussed. Now in this architecture, if you recall the definition, if you recall once, what is the definition of Android? We discussed about the definition of Android, right? Android is a mobile platform. This mobile platform consists of what? Operating system, middleware, and key applications. This is the definition of Android. It's a mobile platform. This mobile platform consists of what? Operating system, middleware, and key applications. This is the definition. Now here, from this definition, if you see here, from this definition, it's a mobile platform. This mobile platform consists of operating system. This is one thing. It consists of operating system. Next, the application framework, libraries part, and DVM. The applications framework, library part, and DVM is called as what? It's a middleware. It's what? It's a middleware, and by default with the Android, it will get some applications. You'll get by default with the Android. By default with the Android, you'll get some applications. You'll get by default with the Android. Some key apps you'll get. Okay. So this is the definition and architecture of Android. This is what the definition and architecture of Android. It's a mobile platform. This mobile platform consists of what? Three things: operating system, middleware, and key applications. This is the definition and architecture of what? Android. It's not only an operating system. It's a platform. This platform consists of these three things. This is a definition and architecture of Android. Now what I'm doing is, from this definition, I'm removing this mobile, I'm removing now. From this definition, I'm removing this mobile, I'm removing. Why I removed that mobile? Because now Android is a platform. Android is a platform which contains operating system, middleware, and key applications. Why I removed that mobile? Because initially when the Android is launched, that is only specific to Android devices, mobile devices. But now the Android is available in tablets, wearable devices like Google watches and Google glasses, like these kind of things, and desktops, automobiles, TVs. In different places we are getting this Android platform in different places. Hardly in 6 or 7 platforms this is available, right? So that's why I removed that mobile. Now it's Android is a platform. This platform consists of operating system, middleware, and key applications. This is the definition and architecture of Android. So let me know if you have any queries on this. Do you have any queries on this? What is architecture and the definition?
No.
So so my course, I'll take 45 sessions. I'll take for completing this course. 45 sessions I'll take to complete the course. Out of 45 sessions, 30 sessions I'll take for core Android. 30 sessions I'll take for the core Android classes, and 15 sessions I'll take for advanced Android. 15 sessions I'll take for what? Advanced Android. Okay. So this is my course duration. A total 45 sessions are required to complete this Android course. Okay. So enough for today. Today we discuss about a concept called we discuss about what exactly Android is. It's a mobile platform. This mobile platform consists of what? Operating system, middleware, and the key applications. And we define this. We define the definition of Android. We defined with the help of Android architecture. We define the definition. Okay. So these are demo classes. I cannot take much time. Once the demo class are done, I mean once the people are registered, then I'll take the class from 6 to 7 o'clock. I told you, right, I need 45 days, I mean 45 sessions for completing this all the core Android and advanced Android topics. Okay. So let me know if you have any queries, otherwise we'll see in the tomorrow session. Okay. So no queries, right? So okay then. So thank you guys. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow at the same time at 6 o'clock. Thank you. Bye.